Okay, welcome everybody to the semi-finals week recap. Just before we get into the finals matchup for tonight, I'm here with Micro. Just to go over the recap. Would you like to introduce yourself, Micro?
Yep, doing good. It's always lovely to look back at the matches we have had in the previous week, and potentially talk about the up and coming matches. There are some pretty hype ones coming up, so I'm very excited to get into it.
Yeah, let's look at the stats for this week. So we have some interesting things going on within this semi-finals week, and yeah, here it is. Take a little bit of a brief look.
Really quickly look at that guy at the number 12 with an absolutely goated weighted score of -99. Incredible performance from Caesars this week. I would have to say so myself. Being able to forfeit a match, that is quite the performance.
With the best score of 0 on the no mod 1, you gotta expect the goat right there.
So to be honest, these stats, as we're getting, apparently the stats are a bit scuff, not too accurate. So be aware of that. Should be mentioned. Already knowing Norkeel's best score was not Hard Rock 2 with 430k. He did indeed FC the DT1 with an incredible ag of like 99.4 or something. So they are a bit scuff.
He did. Yes, he did. So yeah, as you can see, Nordkill, and we have something interesting going on today. So Hard Rock 1 was only played once, so it was the DT1, and nobody played the DT2 in the semi-finals week.
It's quite interesting. These people so fast, but apparently not comfortable enough to play it against each other, or it's just been very contradicting skill sets. So there's always been one guy that knows his opponent at the very least is like a lot better on the tabbing, so it's just an easy ban.
It's just an easy ban. Yeah, it was the second most banned map this week, and of course the first one not being other than No More 6. HD2 was actually banned maybe twice, I believe. Yeah, HD2 was banned 4 times. It was banned 4 times, but it was played way more than the DT2. 2 people played it. So
yeah. Surprisingly, Pablo, or no, not Pablo, I should say, Palle, not banning Hidden 2, one of his go-to bans, but instead, he went, I'm not sure, Hidden 1 I think he banned instead, which was a bit surprising, against Stealth it was. He played it against Lovejohn, and looking at that match, you could see why he would go for the ban on the Hidden 1, because he did not play the Hidden 1 at well. For him, he was like, this might as well have been AR8. So, for some reason, he thought he had a better chance against Stealth in the Hidden 2. Surprisingly, Stealth being one of the strongest Hidden 2 players.
It is, yeah, that was one of the harder matches, and I think if we scroll down a little bit here, we are missing the DT2 and D2 and DT3. I didn't see how many people played the DT3, but I think the DT3 was actually one of the more popular maps as well. Oh, there we go. There's the rest of the map. Yeah, so DT3 and DT4. Pablo's playground over there. He's dropping number 1 scores on these picks. These finger control, these alt tech maps.
Quite interesting. These stats are so scuffed because it says that Lovejohn is above Palle, but Palle won the map against Lovejohn. Just barely. It was a very close map, and it was unfortunately also the last one in that match. But it was very close, but unfortunately Lovejohn did lose it to Palle, so I'm not sure why he's above him, but quite funny.
The stats were scuffed. And one of the more played maps was actually the HR4, I'm not going to lie. HR4 was picked a lot of times, the polyrhythm. Most people are actually enjoying it and opting into this very hard and difficult map to hack. As we saw, I believe Lofton won the pick against Pole on like 81 accuracy.
Yeah, it was crazy play from Lofton, getting a C81% accuracy score against, I think it was, Pole was holding a solid 92 A score or something, 93 maybe even. But because Lovejohn managed to FC all the way until, unfortunately, the very end where he got 1 miss, but he still managed to win it.
It was all that was needed. And I just want to mention that this week we saw Sobu pop off incredibly. Pablo, I believe he averaged the second highest score throughout this week. But it was Sobu that actually was able to outperform Pablo on most of the maps actually. The No More 2, the No More 5, No More 4. I believe Sobu was outperforming. He was outperforming Pablo on all these maps that they played similarly together throughout the pools.
That is true, you know. That is a quite interesting fact. Yes, that is probably going to be one of the most hyped matches going into this week. Sobu versus Pablo in the winner bracket of the finals. But yeah, no, Sobu really popped off. But you know, the skill ceiling, the star rating of the map pool, you know, is only going to be increasing. And you know, we already seen the finals pool, and it was a significant increase, right?
It was a pretty significant increase, yeah, from a 6.7 pool to around a 7.1 star pool. So we've increased their star quite a bit in the finals pool there, and you know, very difficult map. We're pushing to skill cap territory now, so we're gonna start seeing these average scores and the stats becoming more scuffed. So
Yeah.
everyone's gonna start scoring a bit less now. But
Exactly,
yeah,
but I was going to be saying, because of that, you know, I think that is only going to be favoring Pablo. Pablo definitely one of the highest skill ceiling, if not the highest. Though Sobo obviously being very close, but you know, Pablo the highest PP amount in Denmark. You know, always on really hard maps, great scores, great accuracies. You know, the star rating increasing is only going to be favoring Pablo. So, you know, you shouldn't. Maybe just maybe Sobu will be struggling a little bit. I don't think so necessarily, but can he be just as consistent on these harder maps as Pablo? You know,
that is
that's
very
going to be an
true.
interesting question, you know, too, going into that match.
Sobu also proving he has that skill cap, you know, FCing in his match, I believe the No Mod 5 and the HR3, you know, just given that crazy FC on those maps. I believe he also FC the No Mod 2 as well, so Sobu actually showing that he's a bit more consistent on Pablo than on these lower SR pools, but like you said, Micro, we are moving into the big territory here, as I like to call the big boy territory. The matches
Big
get
territory.
pretty difficult, and it becomes harder.
Absolutely. So yeah, no, it's you know, got some interesting matches, and you know, we already got a match today. You know, we're doing this little recap here as a warm up for Polle versus I Am Will, which you know, if we could and maybe should, you know, do a little talking about, because I think that could be an interesting match coming in early this week.
I mean, if you look at the stats right now, we can see that Ironville wins on the No Mod 1, you know, number 1 compared to number 3 to Pole. But look at Pole's No Mod 4 score. It's complete opposite. Pole number 1 and Ville number 3 there. So clearly Pole has the advantage on the tech. But Ville, you know, he has the advantage on that aim, that consistency, what he's known for. You do not want to mess with Pole when it comes to this tech stuff, because he was the only one, I believe, this week to be able to FC that No Mod 4.
That is true, you know. If these both players have been warming up and been practicing, hopefully they have been practicing. I'm not sure. I did see both players online like an hour before their match coming up here in 17 minutes. So maybe, just maybe, though Vil being Vil was mudding a map. I'm not sure if he was mudding one of the maps in the pool, but I was like, bro, what are you doing? You gotta start practicing, you gotta warm up. what are you doing mudding? Stop mapping, my guy.
You can't change the pattern in the map, Vil. You can't change it, even if you don't like them. You gotta play it.
No, Will definitely loves, you know, to go in and look in the editor, looking at the maps, and you know, he loves mapping too. You know, he's a big guy of mapping himself. So I'm not sure. You know, he probably spends more time editing, mapping these days than actually playing, unfortunately.
But, you know, I'm surprised, but this matchup is going to be great because we have such contrasting skill sets between these two players. I think Pole maybe is a bit better. I'm not too sure about this. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Pole might be better on the hard rock and maybe the tapping compared to Vil. Unless, you know, I'm not too sure about that.
I'm not sure. I think it's a hard tell. You know, both these players are really good. Or usually, you know, they perform really well on a lot of the same things. You know, Pole, unlike Vil or opposite, you know, Pole hates gimmick, whereas Will can play it. Like he's not the strongest on it. You know, the hidden 2, the nomad 6, but you know, he's definitely not a stranger of playing those kind of maps. Whereas Pole would be like, AR8, I'm out. I'm not even gonna try. You know, practicing the map, no, I'm skipping it. I don't want to spend my time on it. Whereas Will be like, I'll play test, I'll try it, I'll practice it maybe. You know, whereas Pole, you know, instant ban.
Instant ban. He does not want to do anything with that. And you can actually see that their tapping skills is not too far apart. Pole number 3 on No Mod 5. Vil just below him on number 4. I think they have a pretty much similar skill ceiling in this tapping area because Vil can play these No Mod 2s as well. He has that stamina. It's mostly going to come down to these ult maps and these tech maps, I think. Some of these aim maps as well. And we know how Pole did on the HD1 last week. I think if Pole, you know, he knows that Vil can play hidden one, this awkward aim stuff, I think Pole needs to ban the hidden one tonight.
Well, you know, it's really up to like what does Polo like to play the least. You know, does he want to go through the cock and ball torture on the hidden 2, or you know the torture on hidden 1? You know, either way, it's an absolutely secured point for Will for sure on either of those maps because Polo can only ban one hidden. So
And it's either you ban the awkward aim or you ban the low AR, and I think maybe Pole maybe thinking, you know what, I don't think I'm gonna win at the low AR at all. So he might opt to ban in for the, you know, the low AR and just try his luck on that hidden one. You know?
yeah, you know, I would say there's a bigger chance of him winning on the hidden 1, but even that chance is a very, very small percentage. It's probably below the 2 digits, maybe a 5% chance, and that's being kind because Will is a beast on hidden ones. Such a good aim player and such a good hidden player.
But you know, Pole, actually looking at his Hard Rock scores, he's doing pretty well. Look at that Hard Rock 4 score right there, the alt map right there. I think you know, Vil probably doesn't want to go into the alt Hard Rocks against Pole here, especially since Pole actually outperformed Pablo on that alt Hard Rock pick. So you know,
yeah. Polo is definitely a strong player on, you know, the more finger control-ish maps, you know, where the alternating speed section, you know, where, you know, all these different changes in the rhythm. Polygons,
Exactly.
I believe you called them. So yeah, Polo definitely a strong player on maps like that. You know, the finger control, Polo is so strong on that. So yeah,
finger
no.
control, the DT, the tech maps, you know, the
Yeah.
DT tech.
The
He's so strong in that.
DT3, you know, always a scary map to play against Polo. Or yeah.
Maybe DT1 as well, because we have not seen the DT1 be played at all this week, except for Jonah and Nordkill. So we don't know how Pole and Bill feel about that, but I think they're roughly on the same skill level on that high AR. I think it comes down to the tapping, but I don't think we have any tapping in the DT1 this week. It is just a pure aim map with a couple of bursts here and there. So I think maybe Bill might opt to pick into that. It is AR 10.4 though. It is for the high skill cap, high AR players only.
That is true, but you know, we only got high skilled people left. You know, all of these players who's left into the finals are absolutely such incredible good players. So
100%,
I would be surprised if they will be skill gapped. Hopefully not just yet.
Oh, not just yet, just you wait.
You know, I've heard someone's been cooking up for the grand finals pool. Absolutely excited to see what will be brought out there.
A lot of good stuff will be brought out there, but yeah, that is most of the maps. You know, I believe Pole. I think this is a pretty even matchup. I think Pole, you know, if he practices the pool and not does what he did against I wonder who it was. Texi, yep, against 60, you know. Troll. You might be able to, you know, take some points here, you know, maybe show us an interesting match, go maybe into the tiebreaker, maybe. Honestly.
Could be, you know, I would say this is definitely, you know, the second most interesting match coming up, and we're getting it early Christmas present. Because Zobo versus Pablo, absolutely the highlight of this week. You know, it is the up-and-coming prodigy of the Danish scene, Sobu against Pablo, as we always say, the GOAT, the king, who's been sitting on the throne for way too long. And you know, even Pablo, he's like, I don't know why I'm still at the top. Like, I'm not even a tournament player. The only tournament this guy basically plays is the RDOC, and he just goes in and wins it, even against these very experienced tournament players. But it's just because his skill ceiling is that good, you know. Whenever you go into the grand finals, you know, he's gonna be able to perform on these maps, where some of these other players, you know, they're really good 4-digit D-rankers, tournament players, but, you know, Pablo just has that skill ceiling that always manage to pull him through. But Sobo, you know, he's got an incredible skill ceiling too. So, you know, finally a player who might be able to challenge him, as we saw in 2022 with Tixi, probably the most skilled 4-digit we got. Or used to have. He's pretty fucking washed these days, and quite a disappointment. But that is what happens when you get lost in World of Warcraft, unfortunately.
No, I believe in Tixi's comeback. You know, he's showed a great performance last time.
He did win 3 points against Pablo.
Yeah, he did get sent to the losers by Pablo.
Yeah.
But you know, taking 3 points off Pablo is already a pretty good sign that, you know, Tixi, he has not lost his skill. He just needs to refresh it. bring it back, and maybe we can see him reach the grand finals in the losers bracket. Honestly, it's doable for him. Very much doable for him.
Yeah, and he's going to be playing against Beast Jonah, which is quite an interesting matchup as well. Also coming up this week, of course. Tixie versus Beast Jonah. Beast Jonah has been playing so well, so incredible well. You know, absolutely shitting the bed with Cedar Snap, sweeping his ass, and almost, you know, really pulling his weight against Norkill. Norkill only managing to get 2 points against Beast Jonah. Beast Jonah has been a beast in the loser bracket so far. So, as Tixie has finally entered the loser bracket, probably, you know, I don't know, might be a first time for him ever since, you know, he first started playing RDOC. So it's gonna be interesting to see, you know, being in the loser bracket is gonna make Tixie pull himself together, stop killing Murlocs, stop doing mythic raids in World of Warcraft, and actually play some circle gaming.
I hope so too, but no, the one man that's stopping Dixie that's probably gonna be biggest, you know, roadblock, same with Pole and maybe Bill, is Beast Jonah. Because this Beast Jonah guy, I don't know, he's been putting up incredible scores throughout the whole tournament, honestly. His match against Bill where he lost the tiebreaker is just very unlucky, you know. But he, in the losers bracket, he's been dominating. I don't think he's lost that many points against his matches so far. He's been dominating throughout the losers bracket. And I think he's one of the, you know, the GOATs, I think. Great player.
Definitely the underdog, you know, in the loser bracket, but damn, has, you know, can say it again and again, performing so well. As you said, getting to tiebreaker against a player like I Am Vil is no easy task. And, you know, it's just going to be interesting to see how, you know, the increasement in star rating in these pools are going to be challenging him on his consistency, because he has not been struggling on most things he's been playing so far.
Yeah, he's been improving as well, you know. Last year, improvement from last year. This year, he's improving throughout the tournament. That's what we love to see. You know, players improving, you know, playing the game.
I might be wrong, but I think he fell short in the semis last year. I'm not entirely sure on that. But I think maybe, just maybe. I don't have the stats right now for it, but I'm just running on my memory.
Hey, and looks what? I guess he made it to the finals now. You know, he's reached the finals.
And honestly, a good chance to get into the grand finals loser bracket, I believe, right? Isn't that what you call it?
Yes, the grand finals losers bracket, I believe. Yep.
Yeah.
Could be interesting to see. Yeah.
Yeah, even, and you know, a young gun. I would still think he's a young gun. He's been playing for quite a bit of time, but you know, definitely here in RDOC, getting this far, still young most likely compared to Tixie, to say the least. You know, this young against this old dog. You know, this is his final, what do you call it, proof, test, obstacle, to, you know, really show what he's made of.
Can't wait to see, you know, we can't wait to see how they perform on this. But I think before that match, you know, we've said the stats and stuff. I think we'll take a bit of a break here before we get into that match. We got a couple of 5 or 6 minutes before they start playing. So yeah, I think we can take a little bit of a short break here. And we will be back, me and Micro will be back for the Pole and Pole versus Vil matchup.
Will.
Yes, sir. So yeah, any last words before we take this break?
Nope, can't wait for the 7 minutes to pass, because goddamn am I excited for Pole versus I Am Vil, and I'm hoping for an absolutely great match. And I hoping, you know, they can entertain us all.
I hope so too. So yeah, we'll see you guys very much soon in around 6 or 7 minutes. And yeah, we'll get straight into the match.
See you guys in a bit.